The eyes of the world continue to be on the Turks and Caicos Islands as the current state of affairs gathers worldwide attention. With a major united march earlier this month, pay cuts for civil servants, and resignations from both the Advisory Council and Consultative Forum, the entire world has been fixated with events in the country. So much so that yesterday, during a Westminster Hall debate, the TCI took center stage as Labour MP David Cleland pressed the Foreign and Commonwealth Office on when democratic rule would be restored to the Turks and Caicos Islands. Cleland, who has visited the Turks and Caicos Islands on previous occasions, with his last visit in 2004, began by giving a precise background of the country filled with several historical and cultural facts, explain how the early days of piracy and the salt industry played a key part in the development of the TCI. He also brought facts on the problems of illegal immigration, primarily from Haiti, and the effects it had on the economy and social ills such as health concerns, illegal drugs, and guns. He stressed that the people of the TCI are still unsure as to what is the plan by the UK and wanted answers.
So while it's true that some politicians on the islands have abused and misused their positions of power and influence, who are we to criticise, of course, some might say? Like here in the UK, these are a small minority that have blackened the reputations of the majority. There are many good, dedicated, honest politicians in TCI with the interests of their country folk at heart, and they should be included and not excluded from the temporary governance of their homeland pending a return to democratic elections. This is a country that has been buffeted by hurricanes, but also by political scandal and outside influences seeking to exploit its natural beauty and the good nature of its people. Rich men and women from across the globe have made their way to TCI. Russian and American millionaires seeking to exploit the beauty and status of the islands for profit, and those whose expertise is in tax avoidance.
Foreign Officer Minister Chris Bryant, after confessing that he never visited the Turks and Caicos Islands, said elections were due to be held in the Turks and Caicos Islands in July 2011, and that the decision to impose UK rule was not one that has been taken lightly.
It was not a step, I have to say, that we took lightly for the reasons that he himself suggested, that we have no desire to return to colonial rule in any kind at all. Mr. Sheridan, Sir Robin's report is very impressive and, for that matter, extremely damning. He outlines what you could only call a perfect storm of political intrigue and corruption. He cites the considerable discretionary power in the allocation of Crown lands and in planning, and the award of government contracts and belonger status. And I might just correct my honourable friend, not everybody who lives on the island is a belonger, far from it. In fact, this is one of the problems.
Brian went on to talk about the references made by Sir Robin All's final report, which pointed out several areas of possible corruption.
But the one thing, however, I would say is that one of the things that is detailed very clearly in Sir Robin All's report is that one of the elements of corruption was the inexplicable wealth that many people enjoyed, that seemed to enjoy. And of itself, in some countries in the world, for instance in Hong Kong, that overturns the burden of evidence that there should then be in terms of trying to prove that there has been bribery or corruption. And one of the elements of this that was particularly virulent in TCI was that nobody ever registered their financial interests. So, in fact, Mr. Missick himself stated, in relation to gifts and party political donations, there has been no one who has ever declared, probably with the exception of one new member who probably declared a small amount, and this is probably because particularly the small nature of our territory, persons giving political contributions would have preferred not to be named.
The administration of the TCI is suspended for up to 2 years and power transferred to the UK-appointed Governor Gordon Weatherall. For WIV4 News, I'm Takara Bain.